Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be tier ranking book tropes today. Okay, so I'm just going to be picking them at random. I'm just going to be swinging my mouse all around because if I had to pick one, I would be sitting here for like 5 minutes just trying to pick one because I'm too indecisive. So the first one is Grumpy Sunshine. I love Grumpy Sunshine. The only thing is it can't be god tier because sometimes the girl can be too sunshiny when she's too quirky. I don't like that. But I love a good Grumpy Sunshine. When he's grumpy, or especially when he hates everyone except her, that kind of can also be that trope. Or him. I don't know. It depends on what type of book. It depends on the type of book. But I love Grumpy Sunshine. Okay, bodyguard romance. I haven't read any bodyguard romances yet. I can't remember what it's either the fine print books or the twisted love, twisted games, all that stuff. One of those has a bodyguard romance. I don't know if it's the fine print or the twisted books, but one of those has it. I want to read it, so that's why it's going in like, because I think I'll like it. I like the idea of it, just haven't read it, so it's just gonna stay in like. Okay, only one bed. Okay, so I know people normally love this one, but it it can be cringy and it's predictable, and I don't always. There's sometimes where the one bed trope is just kind of ruins the book. So I don't think it's something that I would normally love it majority of the time. I think it's more of a depends on the situation, but I normally don't like it. It's just too cheesy for me. They always end up sleeping together and it's just too predictable, so I don't really like that one. But I don't not like it, so that's why it's going in like, because I do like it, but not always. Right person, wrong time. This is also gonna get a like from me because it depends on why it's the wrong time. Like if something traumatic happened in that person's life, understandable. But if they've been together for like a very very long time, it's like, are you sure you don't want to just like have that person as support in a relationship kind of way? I don't know. That's the only example I can think of, but sometimes the wrong time part can be done wrongly, and I don't like when that happens. Okay, actually, I'm not gonna, where's that? Right person, not enough time is god tier for me. I love Right Person, Not Enough Time. I can think of two books off the top of my head, but I think it'd kind of be a spoiler. But I love that book, and I like knowing that, oh, one person ends up being sick, or it's a very sad book, but not knowing that it's the right person, not enough time. My favorite. It is my favorite. One of my favorite tropes. I love to cry for a book. Okay. Love triangle. I know. What's The Summer I Turned Pretty? I have the first book. I haven't read it yet. I want to get the other two before I read it. But I like the idea of a love triangle. But sometimes it can be annoying, so that's why it's these ones are kind of all just like I like it, but sometimes it can be done very wrongly, and that kind of just ruins it for me. Sports romance is god tier for me, especially basketball romance. I want to read the Hoops series, very very bad. I read the Off Campus series. I don't know if I'll end up reading Brezeeys just because L. Kennedy is not the best author, so if I end up seeing any of the Brezeeys books on other websites like that aren't from just like directly supporting the author, I will read the Brezeeys series, but it's not on the top of my TBR. I liked Off Campus, probably like an average, I don't know, average 4 stars for that series. It wasn't like my favorite series in the whole world. My favorite was The Mistake. I love Logan and Grace. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about that. Yeah, but yes, I love sports romance. If you have any good basketball romance books besides the Hoop series that you would recommend, please drop them in the comments, because I like the idea of the girl being the one that plays the sport instead of the guy, because the ones I've read so far are just the guy doing the sports, and I want the woman to do the dang sports. But yes, also if you have basketball recommendation books, romance books, please recommend. But I already have the Hoop series on my TBR, so yeah. Love at First Sight is absolutely a void. I hate instant love. I hate it. I genuinely cannot stand it. There's no tension. I like there to be tension and angst, and you are not getting that with insta love. There's no point of even having the love story if they automatically, no for me. Single parent, I like single parent trope. The Match by Sarah Adams has this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I like it. Sometimes it can ruin it because sometimes the author writes the kid bad, and that's not something I like. The kid has to be written like okay, and I like the parent to be involved, although sometimes I don't. It depends. Depends on the situation, but most of the time authors write kids very bad, and I do not like that. Okay. So, next. Bad boy, good girl is one of my favorite tropes. I do not know where I want it to be, though. God tier or love? I'm gonna give it love, actually, because these two can kind of correlate with each other. Bad boy, good girl. The girl can be too immature. I understand, like, certain things, like, if she has, like, an amount of trauma, that kind of made her more, like, innocent, but that can also make it seem like she's vulnerable. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I love Bad Boy, Good Girl, and I also love Good Boy, Bad Girl. I love that one. That's underrated. Very underrated. Full Tale has this. Bad Girl, Good Boy. Loved that book. 5 stars. But these two kind of correlate with each other. I love them both. But sometimes, also Archer's voice, she wasn't really bad, but Archer was more innocent, and the girl was more experienced. So it wasn't like she was like a rock star, like in Full Tilt, but I recommend that if you like this trope, even though she wasn't like bad, she was just more experienced than him. Next one. Accidental pregnancy. Okay. Y'all, I actually really like this one. Is that just me? Am I the problem? I love the accidental pregnancy trope. I know it's a strongly hated one, but for me, it's one of my favorites. Especially when it's like you don't know about it getting into the book. Because there's a book, I'm not going to say what, it is a sports romance, and it is written by an author that is a woman. Hockey romance, and one of the books has this in it, but I knew about it going into the book, so I wasn't as much as a fan. It was more like they didn't know about it, and I was like, ho ho ho, just you wait. I like when it's an actual accident, and I like when they're pregnant rather throughout the thing, and the kid isn't as involved as much. But I also do like that, but I do not always, oh my god, I can't think of how to word this. I don't like when they only like get together because of the kid. I like when you can tell that they have feelings from each other. So I feel like accidental pregnancies need the double perspective for me to absolutely love it. But again, it is one of my favorite tropes. So yeah, so please give me recommendations with this, because don't say what, because I want the surprise, obviously, but like I love it. I'm not ashamed. Fake dating. I really like fake dating. I don't know if I'd give it love. Sometimes I don't like when they already like each other when they start to fake dating, and I like when there's like I'm gonna give it like, I like when it's situational, like it's more convenient, like in The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. They did it because it was convenient for them and not because they liked each other. That's when I like it, because if they already like each other and they're fake dating and they don't have this part where they're like, they don't have feelings for each other, and does that make sense? Like, I like them to not like each other when they are fake dating, because if they already like each other, it's just kind of boring for me. Just my opinion. That's why it's only going in like, because a lot of times they already like each other. Yeah. So next is going to be Brother's Best Friend. I haven't read any with this one particularly that I can think of. I think one of the books in Brower U has this. I want to say it's Summer's book. I think she's, what's his face? Dean's sister, maybe? I don't know. I like the idea of it. I think Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover also has this trope. Keep it in like workplace romance. I am not a fan of workplace romance. I DNF'd The Hating Game. I also DNF'd Office Grump. I know it's literally only 2 books, but I haven't read any that I have liked, so it just, doesn't really make sense for me to say that I might like it, because the books I have read that have had this, I just have not enjoyed. Forced Proximity, I like Forced Proximity. Maybe even Love. I feel like it'd be in between like and love. I'm just gonna give it like. The like column is filling up. Yeah, I like Forced Proximity. It can be done wrong. I mean, any trope can be done wrong, really. I like the whole Especially when it's enemies to lovers, or a college setting and they get paired for a project together. It's so predictable, but it's one of my favorite things ever. Childhood friends to lovers. I love childhood friends to lovers. It's just so wholesome. I like when you can see them growing up in a certain perspective and then it's the other perspective. I'm pretty sure what people we meet on vacation might be childhood friends to lovers. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm pretty sure Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren is this. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't read those ones yet. When they mention something they did as kids and they do it again, my heart just bursts. I love it, guys. Slow burn. I love slow burn. I cannot wait to hop on the Mariana Zapata train because I've heard she's the slow burn queen. I just haven't had the energy to read a humongous book. I have been reading the same book for over 10 days now, which is abnormal for me. It's totally fine if that's like normal for you, but I normally would have read like 2 or 3 books by now. It's March 10th when I'm filming this, so hopefully I can get in at least 3 or 4 books this month. Hopefully. I think I was just talking about slow burn, right? But yeah, I love slow burn. Especially enemies to lovers slow burn. It's top tier. It's top tier, really. It's top tier. Enemies to lovers. I just mentioned that, so why wouldn't I do that? I love enemies to lovers. I love angst. I don't know if that's just because I've spent my whole childhood on Wattpad and they were almost always enemies to lovers, but I love that. And that brings us to One of Us is Famous. I like One of Us is Famous. I do not like when the famous one is a snob, and a lot of times people will do that. I just don't like it. It's just annoying. I like when they're proud, but they're also humble about it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. On to Friends with Benefits to Lovers. I actually do not really like this. There is... Oh, it's, Allie and Dean's book, Off Campus, was Friends with Benefits to Lovers. I don't like Friends with Benefits to Lovers. I just don't like it that much. I just am not a fan. Friends to Lovers. I like Friends to Lovers. I prefer childhood Friends to Lovers, but Friends to Lovers I love. They already kind of know each other, so it's not like, you know, Strangers to Lovers where you see them getting to know each other and everything. I like Friends to Lovers better. Unless I'm going to go Strangers to Lovers. I don't really like it. I like them to already kind of know each other, but it's also, I mean, it can be done good. Like Neighbors to Lovers, I could get behind. But total strangers to lovers, unless it was like a big book and it was a slow burn, yeah, I need that. Or if it went from strangers to friends to lovers all in one book, I can get behind that. But it has to have that part where it's just them not really interested in each other, and maybe they're like, oh, they seem like they'd be a good friend. Does that make sense? Because strangers to lovers can also be very love at first sight, which I try to avoid, so yeah. Okay, Mafia Romance. I'm going to give simply because I haven't read any. There is a couple I want to read. Age Gap. I like Age Gap, but I don't like when... I didn't like Birthday Girl. The girl is 19 and the guy's 18. That's not Age Gap. The girl was 19 and the guy is 38. I don't like that much of an age gap. I get the whole point of it is like the forbiddenness and stuff. I just wasn't a fan of that. Also didn't like the girl character in that, so that was a whole shebang thing. I like age gap, but it can be done wrong and it can become off creepy, so it depends. I think I'd actually give this I don't know. Okay, I hate everyone in the world but you. I know the fine print, or I literally always forget the other one. I like this one. Actually, I don't know. I think this is going in between, but I don't have one for that, so I'm just gonna give it to like. Especially in a fantasy world, I love when this happens. Okay, teacher student, I am actually probably gonna avoid. I like in the love hypothesis, it's not technically teacher student. I like when it's not their student, but she was like she wasn't a student. She was like a graduate. I can't think of the word, but she wasn't his student. I like that. I like that aspect, so it was fine. I just don't like the actual teacher student, and that just makes me a little bit uncomfy. No, thank you. I will probably avoid a teacher student book. Bully romance, I'm also going to avoid. Why? Why does he have to bully her? I love enemies to lovers, but bully is just too far. I don't know how you could date someone that bullied you. It just sounds like you're, like, coping with trauma in the wrong way. A fan of the bully romance. Friends to enemies to lovers? Not a big fan. I might like it. If they have a falling out for a particular reason when they're younger, I could get behind childhood friends to enemies to lovers. I guess that would be kind of a sprouting of friends to enemies to lovers, but just not particularly. This one is not what I'm looking for. Friends to enemies to lovers is, if it's a slow burn, maybe. If it's like 400 plus pages, I can get behind that. But if it's more focused on the enemies to lovers, instead of having friends to enemies to lovers, I feel like that'd be very long. Yeah, that's all I have for this video, because obviously we ran out, because you see this save/download in this presentation mode, reset, change background color. That's all I have. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my other book videos. I will have some Minecraft videos coming out soon, hopefully. Yeah. If you have any other book videos you want me to do, smack them in the comments. Maybe we'll get back into the Minecraft commentary for my book videos, my book reading wrap-ups soon, maybe not. I'm not sure. Depends on what I'm vibing with. Yeah, so that's all I have. Again, I already said that. Like and subscribe, turn on your post notifications if you want to. It's optional, it's not necessary, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it anyways. Yeah. Okay, bye y'all.